I trusted a girl from my class, and now I regret it. I changed schools in 2023. There was this particular group of girls that did not like me. They would make fun of me, talk behind my back, and other weird stuff. I didn't let them influence me. One day, I got into an argument with one of these girls, and it turned into a big mess. It basically started with a boy throwing stuff at me. I told the teacher that he wouldn't stop. The teacher didn't do anything at all. I told him to stop, and I insulted him, to be honest. Only 2 out of 5 girls of them were in school. One of these girls, let's call her Jennifer, told me in a rude tone that I shouldn't insult him. That's right. There's nothing that could justify me insulting someone at all. That's not what I thought back then. I told her to mind her own business if she doesn't know what's going on. That was the first and only time the teacher got involved. She kicked me out and I went home. I thought it was just a little argument with no meaning, and I really didn't care for it. The day after this argument, all the girls were back in school. They kept side-eyeing me and talking behind my back. But this time, they made it obvious that they were talking about me. They kept pointing at me. We had PE that day. I was gossiping to my friend about someone I didn't like. It wasn't about the girls, but they heard it and thought I was talking about them. I told them I wasn't talking about them, but they wouldn't believe me. My PE teacher got involved and told them to back up and asked what happened. I told her that I wasn't ready to talk about it as I was upset and it's my right to do so. My teacher got really mad at me for not telling her what was happening, and I just went to the locker room to calm down. She followed me and asked me what happened. I once again told her I wasn't ready to talk about it. She wouldn't accept it. The girls in my class kept mocking me and repeating what I said. One of them, let's call her Judy, kept filming me. Judy kept threatening me with her family that if I was to insult one of them again, which I didn't do, they were going to beat me up. I was so mad, but I didn't react to them. The day after that, my teacher called me out of the classroom. Judy and Jennifer were standing there, acting all innocent. She asked me what the problem was, and I told her my side, how I perceive things. Judy and Jennifer kept interrupting me or making faces, saying I was in the wrong or that the stuff I was saying wasn't true. My teacher sent them into the classroom, and I started crying in front of her. I told her I was really trying my best to control myself since I have difficulties regulating my emotions. I'm diagnosed with BPD. She was really empathetic and told me not to worry about it, and if they did something again, she would handle it. A day or 2 days later, I was out with my friend, and my mom kept calling me, telling me to come home. She was really mad. That never happened before. I asked my sister what the problem was. She told me the school had called. They were suspending me for 3 days. As I arrived home, they told me what happened. They asked me what had happened, and I told them the whole story. My mom immediately informed a lawyer and told me not to worry about it. This happened on a Friday. On Monday, they told me I had a meeting with the principal and my parents. Since my parents are divorced, I went there with my mom and my sister. We went there, and they wanted to hear my side of the story. The teacher, who was empathetic, was also there, saying that the girls said I was threatening them to beat them up. Long story short, my suspension was lifted, and I was allowed to go to school the next day. The next day, everyone kept looking at me strange or insulting me. My teacher and a confidant wanted to have a conversation within the class. They said that we should talk about what has happened and apologize to each other. I was the first one to apologize. I said it wasn't my intention to have such a big fight, and I'm usually not the one to have such a fight. Then they apologized to me, and everything seemed fine. A few months later, I wasn't talking to anyone in my class unless I was forced to because of group work or something. I had my own friend group outside my class. The girls, in particular Judy, kept coming up to me, trying to start a conversation with me. She was bullying a girl within the group. Let's call her Sally. Sally then found herself a new friend group and started hanging out with them. As a replacement for Sally, they started hanging out with Charlotte. Charlotte is a really sweet girl, but has done a lot of bad things in the past. But who am I to judge? I've done the same things. A few months after that, May 2024, Judy started to dislike Charlotte. I've distanced myself from them. Judy started to follow me in school, asking if I would like to hang out with her. I always told her sorry, but no. Soon I felt bad for her, and I started to hang out with her and the other girls, including Charlotte. One day, there were only Judy, Charlotte, and myself. Judy wanted Charlotte gone and kept whispering to me, "Tell her to go. I don't want her here." I told her if she really wanted her gone, she should tell her herself. She didn't want to, so I asked Charlotte politely to go. Charlotte was really sad, and I offered her to go look for her other friends. She said yes, and when I came back, Judy and another girl were laughing and gossiping about Charlotte. Just so you know, I'm not the person to gossip or make fun of someone. When I asked them what they were laughing about, they told me they were comparing Charlotte's Instagram pictures to the snaps she sent to Judy. I was really confused, so I just stood there listening to them, laughing about her. As I grew closer to Judy, I realized she was bullying Charlotte, and she also wanted me to do so. One day, I came late to class, and Judy told me she screamed at Charlotte because she kept asking her what her grade was. Charlotte has ADHD and gets emotional quickly. I told Judy that it wasn't okay, and I felt bad for Charlotte. Well, I know y'all will hate me for saying this, but I'm not innocent. I started to make fun of her cause I was so blinded by the confirmation Judy gave me. One day, I had a fight with Charlotte and she started crying. She called Judy, and Judy was with her female cousins. Judy then told me Charlotte called her, and all of them were making fun of her, dancing to her crying or laughing about it. Judy started to tell me all the secrets Charlotte told her. When I say all of them, I mean all of them. She started portraying Charlotte as a villain, as if Charlotte was a PR zero-stit asterisk T. Judy dragged other people into it. They were all making fun of Charlotte. They were sending her S3X tape to other people. She's still a minor. I didn't support them. I told them to stop. I told them they were going too far with their actions. One evening, everyone was in Judy's backyard, and we were talking about the situation with Charlotte. They started to gossip about her, and I told them to stop and that I was going to apologize to Charlotte for my behavior towards her. My friend was still friends with Charlotte, and I told her I wanted to talk to Charlotte personally. We met up, and Charlotte told me that Judy portrayed me as the villain, saying I was the one who initiated it. I told her the truth about everything. I showed her my chats with Judy. I basically showed her proof that I did not initiate it. I still recognize my fault, and I apologize for my behavior. She told me everything is fine, and we went back to being friends. I told Judy about it, and all of her friends, plus Judy, started to make fun of me. Her friends took inappropriate pictures of me, not nude, and sent them to other people. They started to portray me as the villain. Our last texts before she blocked me. They're translated by Google Translator. Me. September 6th, 24, 20 hours, 22 minutes, and 33 seconds. You don't need to portray yourself as mature and reflective when you are the most immature and unreflective of all of us, me. I didn't come to you specifically because Charlotte told me what you said about me and how you tried to put all the blame on me, Judy. I saw what I saw and heard what I heard. You're not feeling well mentally, and I can't deal with that. May Allah be with you, but that's it as far as I'm concerned, me. I cleared things up with Charlotte and I apologized, and I also told you that I meant to. You didn't want me to apologize because she did so many unforgivable things. For me, after hearing how you tried to whitewash yourself by putting all the blame on me, the matter is resolved. Maybe you should work on your character and stop turning people on others. Before I could send my last text, she blocked me. We had summer break, so we didn't hear from each other. Charlotte and I went back to being friends and getting even better friends. School started a few days ago, and Judy saw us together and gave us a side eye. She's in the class of a friend of Charlotte and I. This friend told us what she said about us, in particular about me, and I was so mad. I wanted to talk to Judy in person, but she wasn't in school anymore, so I had to text her. Me, don't be surprised, I'm Mary. I have a new number. Stop talking about this situation between Charlotte, you and me. It's getting embarrassing. Even if you just tell Carla what I supposedly said about her. You're saying that you don't care about the situation and don't want anything to do with it, so act accordingly. Charlotte and I don't talk about it anymore because it's been over 2 months. If you're as mature as you always say, you can probably rise above it. If you really have a big problem with Charlotte or me, just talk to us and we'll talk about it like civilized people. I wanted to talk to you at school, but you were already gone. so unfortunately I have to write to you. Act according to your age, and before you blame it on my mental health again, I have more strength of character than you and can own up to my mistakes and also work on myself. You might also want to start working on yourself before criticizing others.